Ready? It's afternoon? Okay, yes, afternoon. Well, good afternoon from Olympic Division here in Koreatown. We're so excited to have you here first, our volunteers. James On and I have been working on this project since last year, along with our volunteer coordinator from downtown, Maggie Dillard, Officer Dillard. So thank you, Maggie. I think you've all met her before. In conjunction with CAFLA and the rest of our partners here at Olympic Division. The idea of this volunteer program in our translation and how we hope that we form this partnership is that our community members help our officers and our community members towards community safety and breaking down some of those barriers that cause frustration, I think both sometimes on our community part and on our officers' parts. And that is a lot of times in the form of a language barrier. So we have cultural barriers, we have language barriers. So when we can better break those barriers down, we can provide better service to our community. And we are so happy that you're partnering with us and helping us. So with CAFLA's participation, we're going to create scheduling. Today you're going to hear from our senior lead officers, take a tour of the station, kind of get a better understanding, a glimpse behind the curtain, if you will. We'll show you the watch commander's office because that's primarily where you'll be working out of or volunteering from to help our officers and help our community. So this is all in partnership to create community safety, to better our relationships, and to provide outstanding service to our communities. And especially our communities, sometimes when they feel victimized or they are victimized, and then they have that added frustration of not being maybe able to communicate what's happening as well as they would. When we break those down, we'll be able to provide better service. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce James On. I think you know James. So James, thank you very much for partnering with us. I appreciate it. If you would like to come up and then I'll introduce the rest of the team. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
네, 안녕하세요 여러분. 일단은 우리 봉사하시는 분들께 오늘 시간 내주셔서 대단히 감사하고 또 우리 커뮤니티를 위해서 봉사를 해주신다는 그 오퍼에 저희가 이번에 한인에서 너무 감동을 받았습니다. 사실 7년 만에 이런 프로그램을 다시 이제 시작을 하는데 봉사를 누가 해주실까, 누가 이제 이렇게 사는데 바쁜데 이렇게 시간을 내주셔서 나오실까 걱정을 많이 했는데 생각보다 많은 분들이 봉사를 해주셔서 대단히 감사합니다. 제가 잠깐 이제 좀 이따가도 만나실 텐데 요번에 이제 같이 참여하시게 될 봉사자분들 잠깐 소개를 해드리겠습니다. 황기윤 선생님, 정민서 선생님, 김패기 혜선, 조양순, 브리트니 황, 앨런 류, 브랜든 변. 저희가 2021년도 이후 그리고 전에도 아시안들에 대한 증오범죄가 특히 LA시의 전체적인 문제이기도 하지만 한인타운에서도 저희가 자주 보고 있고 그 다음에 치안 그냥 제너럴 치안이 한인타운에서 계속 급증하고 있습니다. 최근에는 burglary 집에 침입해서 뭐 훔쳐가고 이런 것들이 많아서 많은 분들 특히 정보기관이나 LAPD나 우리가 뭐 몇 년 전서부터 보시면은 신고하세요, 당하시면 신고하세요 하라고 이제 말씀을 드렸는데 사실상 여기 LAPD 올림픽경찰서나 LAPD LA시에서도 오피서들이 상당히 모자라요. 그래서 저희가 911이나 경찰서에 전화를 하면은 오는데도 시간이 걸리고 어떨 때는 뭐 몇 시간씩 걸려서 일단 에머전시는 끝났고 나는 억울하고 그래서 이런 것들이 계속 똑같은 일들이 이제 발생을 하면은 우리가 경찰들을 부르질 않아요 이제. 그래서 뭐 조금이나마 우리 서장님도 커뮤니티 폴리싱에 대해서 되게 말씀을 많이 하시고 저희 한인회랑도 이제 관계가 있어서 자주 연락을 주고받고 하는데 우리 커뮤니티에서 우리 경찰서를 어떻게 서포트하면 여기 좀 도움이 되고 또 대신 시민들이 도움을 받을까 해서 7년 만에 저희가 이 Korean Language Interpreters 프로그램을 다시 시작이 됐습니다. 그래서 오늘 다시 한번 봉사자분들께 감사드리고 우리 캡틴 판사님도 감사드리고 오늘 올림픽경찰서 관할지역에 Senior Lead Office가 10분이 계신데 오늘 아마 8분이 나오신 걸로 알고 있는데 오늘 그 LAPD 그 관할지역 그 코리아타운 관할지역에서 좀 알아보고 스테이션 톨도 하고 봉사자분들이 앞으로 어떻게 여기서 도움을 주실 수 있을 건지에 대해서 대화도 나누고 스케줄도 짜고 하겠습니다. 여러분 나와주셔서 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, James. I'll give you a little bit of history about Olympic Division, then I'll have the rest of our senior lead officers and our command officers give you a little bit about what their jobs, their functions are here, just so you have a little bit of background. So Olympic Division is 6.2 square miles, opened in 2009, right? They started building about 2007, but opened in 2009. We just had our 15-year anniversary. The 6.2 square miles is roughly between the two freeways, the 101 freeway, which is the Hollywood freeway, whereas if we look this way towards, this is north, and then the 10 freeway, if we look this way out of the station down Vermont south, Hoover on our east side, and roughly Crenshaw up through Plymouth and just the corner of Larchmont Village along Melrose, and then down at Western to Beverly, across to Hoover. So that's kind of, that is the borders of Olympic Division. Olympic Division has about 190,000 people that live here, not to mention all of the businesses and the vast number of businesses. So really a cultural and economic hub of Los Angeles right here. If you look at other cities, the density of Olympic Division, we are about 30,000 people per square mile. Other cities barely break maybe 10,000, and the national average is about 26 people per square mile. But you know, there's thousands and thousands of miles of where nobody lives in the United States. So really a lot of people. So your work here, your partnership with us is really going to enhance our service to Olympic Division. Of course, along Pico, we have the Latino Byzantine corridor. You know that we have Koreatown and how important that has been and come onto the scene on national level with the culinary cuisine and the culture of our Korean community. And then up north, we have the Bangladesh community. So Little Bangladesh is up in the north part of our community. So that kind of encompasses, just real briefly, Olympic Division. If you look at this map over here, not all of LAPD has specific divisions. So if you think about those divisions as their own kind of police departments within a larger city that we call Los Angeles. So each of those police stations has a specific number assigned to it, starting at 1 all the way to 21, with Topanga Division being 21 as they were the last station built. Here at Olympic, we're the 20th division. So we're the next newest division. So this was created, Olympic Division, out of part of Rampart Division and then part of Wilshire Division. So when they made Olympic Division, they combined those two divisions. Another piece of history that you may find interesting is Olympic Boulevard, right out, just north to us, right north of us, used to be 10th Street. And when they renamed, when the Olympics came, they renamed it Olympic Division because the 36 Olympics were the 10th Olympiad. So that's 10th Street, so they renamed that to Olympic Boulevard. Thus, they named the station after Olympic Boulevard. So a little bit of history on that. So in our division, we're broken down into smaller reporting areas. The senior leads are going to just give a quick overview of their specific area. Our senior lead officers are community liaison officers to our communities. We have 10 areas within Olympic Division that each of the senior lead officers are responsible for. Those smaller areas are called our basic A cars. So ideally, we have two people cars, man or woman, or 2 men or 2 women that work in on what we call an A car. That's the patrol cars you see out there. Ideally, they would stay in a specific area all the time. Of course, with staffing, they get bounced around and go here and go there, depending if they may be out of the field on an arrest or administrative work. But ideally, we would have one of those A cars in each of our 10 areas. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my patrol commanding officer. He's in charge of the patrol operations, and that's Captain Ed's son. So Ed, if you could say a couple words, tell him about your role here, and then introduce Cynthia, our detective commanding officer. And as we go through this, you'll learn a little bit about how we function, and it'll make more sense when we take a walk through the station. Okay. Thank you, Ed.
Good afternoon. I'm Captain Sun. I'm the commanding officer of Olympic Patrol Division. I'm responsible for every patrol aspects, every functions, all the basic cars, 24/7 a day. First of all, I want to say thank you all for volunteering. You're not only the leader in your community, you're also the trailblazers for this program in the Olympic Division. You're going to find it very rewarding, very busy, but it's a very fulfilling job. And I'm glad that you guys are here, and ladies, so you can build the bridges between us, the community, and also between the officers and the civilians in this division. As always, we're always here to help. If you need anything from us, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, thank you. And now we have our Detective Commanding Officer, Lieutenant Cynthia Robertson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate you volunteering with Olympic Division. You will indeed help us bridge our community partnerships even better. I am the Detective Commanding Officer for all of the detectives assigned to this division, and we do handle pretty much everything. If you have any questions, feel free. We are so available to help you, assist you, work with you, and just make your volunteering worthwhile for you as a benefit. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you very much. Ben, can I have you come up, please, for a quick minute? This is Officer Ben Pack. Now, this is I bring Ben up here. Ben is a reserve officer. So our reserve officers in the Los Angeles Police Department go through the same hiring process as our sworn officers. But they go through their training in 3 phases. So they do that on their own time. It's generally in the evenings and on the weekends. Ben is what we call a designated level 1 reserve, which means he has all the authority 24 hours a day as any of our police department. The difference is we get paid to do this. He does this on a volunteer basis. This is a full-time job doing other things, and he's also a member or the founder of the Korean Law Enforcement Association. I'll let him talk about that. But I wanted to point out the reserves. We have about 450 reserves in the police department. So these are professional. They have professional jobs. They decide maybe they've always had an interest in law enforcement, or maybe when they were younger they wanted to be a police officer, but got busy in finance or property development or whatever it was, and then as they are able to, they come back to the police department, go through this really rigorous hiring process, go through training process, and then devote time to the police department. So Ben was nice enough to come from his day job and join us today, so I wanted to thank you for all that you do in our Citizens Academy, which we'll be looking forward to in the future, later this next month or in the next couple months. So Ben, if you could say a couple words, say hi and talk about your organization and your work here.
Thank you, Captain. I didn't know I'll be speaking, but I appreciate it. Yes, I'm a volunteer with LAPD, and actually I work here at Olympic. This has been my house for many years. I chose Olympic because this is close to our community, but of all the division I worked in the 16 years, I literally have to say this is the best division. I thank you so much for you volunteering to do this, because it is needed that there's got to be a connection and understanding between the community and the police department, and your role is going to be critical. So thank you so much. I encourage you. Captain was mentioning about the Citizens Academy. We're actually putting together a Korean Citizens Academy in May, and we'll share those dates with you. Actually, we're going to do a press conference later on, but I guess we can announce it somewhat here today.
We have everybody here.
So for the volunteers, we'll share with the dates, because I think would be a very, very good starting point, because the Academy is going to touch on all the things that LAPD does, and you being familiar with all that, I think it will be a much better understanding of the department. Thank you so much, Captain.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So next we'll introduce our senior lead officers. I think would be a good place to start. Dan?
Always.
Which one wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm A1.
So this is A1. This is Officer Joe Palayo. He's been here since opening.
Day one.
Day one when we opened. So he'll talk a little bit about his area. We have the map there for reference and what their role is as we go on. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I'm Senior Lead Officer Joseph Palayo. This section here is to be part of Hollywood Division. So when they incorporated this new division, they took this, everything north of Beverly was Hollywood, and they made it all part of Olympic. So this is the furthest away from the station, 6 miles from the station. I have the communities of Larchmont Village and Winter Square, which is the biggest homeowner association in the city. There it's predominantly Caucasian and part of the Koreatown down here. Most of the crime there is property crime, because a lot of luxury homes, you get a lot of break-ins. And but it's very active with volunteerism and involvement in the community and giving back to the community and helping us here at the station. And I also have, I forget to mention, I have the mayor's house. So the mayor lives right here, 2021. So every morning we go by there and say hi to her and say good morning. And that's it for A1. Thank you. 13?
Dan? Sure, thank you.
How's it going? My name is Senior Lead Officer Daniel Chavez. I've actually been at Olympic Division since it opened. I came over from Hollywood Division as a training officer and was very fortunate to be able to come to Olympic and open up this division. I was really excited about it because I got to be a part of something that was going to be new to the department, and I know this area really needed a police station, and to be able to open up that police station and be a part of it was something I really wanted to do for my career. So I was fortunate enough to come over. I came over as a training officer, which is just 2 stripes, so I was able to train the rookie police officers initially. I worked a few different assignments here, worked a special problems unit before I was fortunate enough to be able to come on loan to the senior lead office and then finally get a position. I've been very fortunate enough to be able to work a few of the different basic cars that our area is responsible for. But right now, what I'm responsible for is 20 Adam 71, which is down here towards the south end of our division. It goes all the way from the 10 freeway to the south, Pico to the north, and then I have Normandy to the east and Arlington to the west. So it's predominantly it's predominantly African American, Hispanic. We have Koreans, and there's a lot of property crime over there. Not too much violent crime. It was a pretty violent area a long time ago, but people started investing in the community, and when the police station opened up, it actually became a lot safer. We have big community, associations like Harvard Heights, Western Heights. We have Sugar Hill. So we have a lot of good communities. So that's the area that I'm responsible for, and I don't plan on retiring anytime soon. So I'll be here for a little while. Who else?
Who's that, Harry? Oh, no. You already are.
Good afternoon. First of all, I just want to thank you all for donating your time. That we really do need the help, especially volunteering. I've worked this area before since Olympic opened, and then prior to that as Wilshire Division since 1996. So I've seen this area change dramatically. My area right now is 20 out of 45. It's kind of in the middle of the division, right, kind of in the heart of Koreatown. My area has a lot of nightlife activity on 6th Street near Chapman Plaza. A lot of the restaurants and karaoke places out that way. But again, thank you for your help. We appreciate it.
Hello, my name is Senior Lead Officer Vasquez, Albert Vasquez. I've been here at Olympic for 11 years now. I mean, I love it here. I grew up not too far from here, just south of the freeway. I have family here that work here. My basic car is 20 Adam 69, which is here at the station. I go from Hoover to Normandy and Pico to like 8th and San Marino. Some of the biggest problems that we have here in this basic car is quality of life stuff like encampments, abandoned properties, and the majority of the people here are either Hispanic or Korean, and we all love it here. So, and thank you for volunteering your time. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Senior Lead Officer Harry Cho. Just like my partner, Danny Chavez, I actually came from a different division when we first opened up in January of 2009. I came as a training officer, so I trained rookies out of the academy, and then later on also went on loan and was long-term loan for a while, and finally became a senior lead officer. So my area is going to be 20 Adam 5-3, which is the funky chair-shaped area that basically goes from between Western and Normandy. I go from Pico to San Marino, which means I have Soul Park and the Koreatown Senior Center. And from Western to Crenshaw, I pretty much go from Pico all the way up to Wilshire Boulevard, which also means I have the Capitol building is also in my area. And so my neighborhood associations are Wilshire Park, Country Club Park, Country Club Heights, and West Normandy Heights. And the neighbor councils I have is the Wilshire Center Koreatown Neighbor Council, the Olympic Park Neighbor Council, and the Greater Wilshire Neighbor Council. So as part of like what the captain said, our job as senior lead is to have a connection with the community. So we go to a lot of the neighborhood watch meetings, the neighbor association meetings, and the neighbor council meetings to be able to interact and hear from the issues that people in the community have. So we're kind of like the eyes and ears for the captain, and also we are pretty much in a sense LAPD 411, and another thing is that we do is we're kind of like the old beat cops of back in the day, where we're the neighborhood police officers that people in the neighborhood familiarize themselves with, and a lot of the kids recognize us because we visit their schools and we visit their daycare centers and stuff. So we're kind of like the ones that they recognize all the time because we're here all the time. So that's basically all I have to say before I get the hook. And so,
last but not least, my name is Ismael Carlos. I've been here since the division opened. I used to work gangs at Wilshire, so I was familiar with the area. I got the opportunity to come over to work gangs here, and I worked Vice, Special Problems Unit, and then I'm doing a loan here, so I'm not quite as slow yet, but I'm trying to get the position. And I'm currently in charge of 20 Adam 97, which is down towards the 10 freeway on here. My east border is Hoover, and then my west border is Normandy, and north border is Pico. When we first opened, that area was, we had a lot of gang problems there, a lot of shootings. A lot of that has gone away now. More of our issues are encampments, RVs, and just, quality of life issues of that sort. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. I just want to acknowledge a couple other people. Dan, if you could come up. Pizza, Maggie. I just want to introduce you. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but you can talk. So, Sergeant Riddle, she's overseeing our senior lead officers, so she's a sergeant. So she's a supervisor, if you will, of our senior lead officers and our community relations officer, which Vince is part of. And the other, she snuck out. She's sneaky that way. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Maggie, who you've met, works downtown, and she helps coordinate all of LAPD volunteering. Has really helped us, myself and James, coordinate and work with you for the application process and through the process. So thank you very much for your connectivity to this. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to say anything, you may. Or you can...
No, just thank you.
Thank you for lunch.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here, and I think it's going to be very important for the division. There's so many times, community calls the front desk, and, they speak different language, especially Korean or Spanish, and we need it, right? Sometimes they're on hold for a certain amount of time, and having you guys is going to connect us together and be able to have a quicker response or better understanding. And coming from a Latina background, my parents only spoke Spanish, so for us, like, whenever we have someone to translate or how to use me was like eye-opener for my parents. So this is going to be very important for our community, and we're just blessed and thankful for having you guys.
Thank you very much. Maggie?
And I just wanted to say thank you guys again. I processed you guys all. I have your IDs. We'll get that squared away. And thank you again for doing this awesome thing for the division, for the department. It's very, very needed. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. James?
Real quick.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to acknowledge all the senior lead officers that came out today for today's presentation. I know most of you by first name, so that just kind of goes to show, including the captain, that you guys are all for community policing. And I think it's been a while. It's been 7 years from what I've been told since we last did this project. And I think everybody, all the citizens of Koreatown, need to kind of start thinking about like what can we do to help public safety in our communities, right? So we get complained a lot, we get yelled at a lot, and I've seen it, and kind of learning the inner workings of the police department and kind of what the different challenges are. I think at least it's enabled me to kind of understand that if the community doesn't support the police department, then we really have no room to complain. So thank you so much for being here. I wanted to acknowledge our Executive Vice President Steve Kang back there. He's been an advocate for the Koreatown community for too long. I just wanted to acknowledge Steve Kang. But thank you, Captain. Thank you, Officer Dillard. We've been working since pretty much day one. And it's kind of been a challenge because we've been doing everything via email, but she's advocated for us really hard to get everybody processed down in downtown, and I can't believe the day is finally here. We want to encourage the community to continue to apply for volunteership so that we can increase the days that we can volunteer, increase the hours that we can volunteer, so that we can make this a program really just not something that disappears in 6 months or a year, but we can continue to support our Olympic division in that way. So thanks.
Yeah, and it really is, James, I think it's important that you said it's really that community-oriented policing is really about partnerships, and it's about forming these partnerships where the police officers that police your neighborhood, us here at the police station, and you also take that information back to your community, right? That we're working with the police to create community safety and to break down some of these barriers. So thank you very much for your partnership. I look forward to this. That's all I have.
Yeah.
If there's anything, questions maybe, or comments, Diana will take all the questions.
질문 있으시면은
If not, do you want to eat and then do the tour? How would you like to do that?
Let's do Q&A with the media. And
Okay.
Any questions you might have or any of the volunteers, and then we'll break for lunch, and then maybe we can do a tour afterwards.
Perfect.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful, because we'll have a lot of other officers who will
Sure.
join us.
Okay. 질문 있으시면 하셔도 되고요. 없으시면 저희가 점심 브레이크. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the hours that will be volunteering?
So we are going to work with James and each of you to what you're able to do. I think what would help us, we open the desk at 7 in the morning and closes at 9? 7 at night? 7 to 7? Is that the hours? So somewhere in that time frame. But really when you are able to. And we'll work with James to create a schedule so the watch commander, and you'll meet the watch commander in a little bit, has that schedule so the officers know when you're here to help out. And that could be either downstairs here or up in detectives. We have a second floor and that's where detectives, you'll see that. So it's really going to be at your convenience. We want to make this as easy of a partnership and work with you however we can.
참고로 여러분들 뭐 스케줄도 있으실 거고 뭐 학교 다니시는 분들도 계실 거고 그래서 저희가 일단은 한인회에서 제일 바쁜 시간 그리고 저희가 생각했을 때 제일 많은 분들이 들어오는 시간을 갖다가 여러분한테 보내드릴 거예요. 그 shared 그 구글 닥으로. 그래서 뭐 예를 들어서 10시부터 오후 2시까지다. 그러면 그 시간대에 가능하신 분들이 이름을 넣어주시고 그 다음 스케줄도 넣어주시고 만약에 거기서 비는 아무도 못한다. 그러면 저희 한인에서 뭐 자체적으로 뭐 제가 나오든지 아니면 다른 분이 나오든지 아니면은 뭐 더 많은 봉사자들 리크루트해서 일단은 지금 파일럿 프로그램이기 때문에 일단 좀 영어로는 building the plane as we fly it. What's the saying? How to say it? Something like that. 네. 그래서 어쨌든 그 좀 이게 우리가 그 파일럿이기 때문에 한번 출시를 해보고 뭐 무슨 실수가 있으면 거기서 또 고치고 그런 식으로 저희가 나가야 될 것 같습니다. Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question. I'm Grant, ABC News.
Yes, sir.
Can you point out how this program will impact on the Asian hate crime? How to reduce, because people have a language barrier to report the crime. So how do you think this is going to help?
So two things. One is that recently we brought hate incidents. We're one of very few police departments that take a hate incident, and that's an incident that doesn't involve the criminal aspect. Somebody calls you a name or tells you to go back to the country of origin, but that doesn't have an associated crime. So being able to, we can do that online now, so that's going to be a big help. Where it helps us is on the crime side is where we have the translation services to better understand quicker when somebody calls into the front desk or walks into the front desk, that we don't have that frustration between our community and that language barrier to our police officers. So we have that understanding that we can take an accurate report so we can, if we need to, arrest those perpetrators that commit violence against our communities. So I think that's where it becomes very helpful on both sides. On the incident side, because people act out in a way and then that builds a case for if they commit a crime, then we have, as the district attorney and city attorney have described, we have a record, a history, if you will, of behavior, and that helps them file the crime down at the district attorneys or the city attorneys. So breaking down the barriers, the frustration level, being able to respond quickly and resolve those issues so we know what the individual that's had this happen to them, that we don't re-traumatize them, being at very long wait times. As I see that as the advantage of this program. You're welcome.
다른 질문이 없으시면은 저희가 if there's no further questions, the media wants like a good photo that we can use.
Oh, we
And
can.
I understand we have the IDs ready for the volunteers. If we can have, if we pass those out.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
with some of the slows in the background.
I think we could
Or, yeah,
look
right
and
here.
move this and have them come up with all of us. Yeah, or in front of here, however you want to do it. You guys okay? I don't know. Yeah, we might as well, right? There we go. And then we'll just all gather right here.
이쪽으로 봉사하시는 분들 이쪽으로 나오고요.
We're going to make sure you guys are right Perfect.
내고 있는 걸 okay, you can. If you could present it, put one on. Kind of photo with the photo. Hold on. Photo. Well, let's get everybody back.
Yeah, they're nice. First rate. These are the real things.
한번 앞으로 나오시고.
그리고 승현이가
이렇게 걸어주실 거예요.
Yeah, we want to do this way or we'll try this way? This way, yes. Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate it for volunteering with us. We look forward to the opportunity. Great.
Very nice. Very nice.
찍겠습니다. 이거 봐주세요. 하나, 둘, 셋. 하나, 둘, 셋.